Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
We're going for a drive.
'22 BMW M5
CS with launch control. Woo, that's fast.
horsepower and torque.
627 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque from a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8.
Floor it again.
Jesus.
Man, that's got so much power. It just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and
That's
pulling.
like neck-hurting power. What is the competition for an M5 CS?
We would get a Panamera Turbo, E63s, RS7, RS6 maybe if you want it in wagon form.
Yeah, okay, so a pretty hefty list of competitors, but this is the CS version, which is definitely extra special.
And what is the starting price of the BMW M5 CS?
This one starts at $165,900.
Okay, let's get into the CS-ness of it.
Well, let's get into cliche corner of it first. So I'm gonna be in MDM Sport now, traction back on. Let's see how this is, and Jesus Christ, this is nuts. Like, the M5 was already crazy. This is next level. Like, holy crap, dude. Oh my God. Okay, so this is all-wheel drive.
What parts specifically are next level?
Okay, so let's get into this. The CS is extra special, 1 year only, limited run.
Wait, competition sport or club sport?
I don't even want to get into that. There's only 25 units for Canada. That's it. If you're shopping for a new BMW M5, click the TrueCar link in the top right corner to get discounted price offers.
Can we start with the aesthetic changes? Because I think the looks of this makes such a big difference.
I think we should start with the horsepower changes.
Go for it.
Okay, so performance changes. This has 10 extra horsepower than the regular competition, and I say regular competition. We also have completely different suspension tuning. This is so much better damped than the regular competition. This damping, the suspension is unreal.
Just like the M2 CS compared to the M2 Comp.
Exactly. And then this is also 220 pounds lighter than the competition as well. And this is BMW's quickest and most powerful production sedan ever.
That's very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it.
So let's pause that stuff and then move on to the looks briefly at the front.
Okay.
The main difference is we've got yellowish headlights.
Yes, temporarily yellow in certain circumstances.
When you start it up with the key fob, it'll do the cool yellow thing at the bottom. And then once you start driving and stuff, it'll go to whiter. But
Yeah.
if you turn your full headlights on, then it goes yellowish. But if you turn on your signal, then it goes yellow.
And with your headlights on, it's only yellow on the outside. The inners are not yellow. It's so weird.
And all the press footage, they strategically filmed it from angles with the headlights on. It kind of sucks that it's not just full yellows at the bottom like the old Hyundai Genesises were and like a ton of Kias are now.
And from the marketing that I saw when this was first initially announced, I expected them to just be yellow all the
I
time.
made like a full yellow film around it almost in my head. I don't know what I was thinking.
I feel tricked. Like, I feel genuinely tricked by marketing.
Fully betrayed. They
Yeah.
got us.
Because yellow is motorsports inspired. It does look so cool, and I just wish it was yellow all the time. It makes such a big difference.
And then to add to the looks, they also have goldish copper trim for the grille and a lot of other things instead of black or chrome.
Isn't that bronze?
Man, I feel like that's not bronze though, because are these wheels bronze or are they goldish?
I guess they're goldish.
With a little bit of copper.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some more performance CS stuff.
Okay, so it is lighter weight. There is a lot more carbon fiber reinforced plastic parts. Our whole hood is carbon fiber reinforced plastic. You can see carbon fiber vents. They also got rid of the sound deadening underneath the hood, so now you see M5 CS under the hood, which is so cool.
Yes, I like that a lot.
And then you can see the engine bay, looks very similar to the regular M5. We do have a carbon fiber roof, which you also get on the regular M5 Comp.
And we got carbon fiber spoiler, you can't forget that.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have a carbon fiber diffuser. We do not have a titanium exhaust, which is very interesting because that was an option on the M5 Comp.
Okay, let's hear what it sounds like from the inside.
Okay, downshift, 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 downshift.
Because that other M5 was like a lot punchier.
A lot punchier.
louder.
That titanium exhaust made a big difference.
Well, that was the one where you're like, I'm the worst neighbor ever right now. And this wasn't even that bad, but when I backed up, my wife was like, why was the house shaking?
Yeah, so I've genuinely felt bad starting that every morning. This is totally
chill,
fine.
it's chill.
This has a very good tone to it. So let's talk about this exhaust. It sounds really good. Like, it's very, very smooth. Let's take a listen to the outside.
But you don't get any of those like burbles and backfires that you do on an M5 competition.
Just a little bit. Like
so much less here.
It's only at low speeds.
And I really noticed that when I was driving home with this on the highway. I pulled up next to a guy in a competition M5 and I could hear his backfires more. But then when he came up to me and he like honked 3 times and all of a sudden my car was a little bit faster in the competition. So that was really cool to see.
Interesting.
But that guy was very stoked to see another M5 guy give him a thumbs up. Because these aren't the most common cars.
Well, there's 25 in Canada.
I mean, M5s in general. And I feel,
yeah, but at this point, there's probably like 1 in Canada.
But I feel like M5 people don't like thumbs up each other.
Probably
generally.
not.
You know what I mean?
No, it's not a thumbs up.
Like,
it's not a Jeep Wave type crowd.
But that guy was stoked.
So back to that performance stuff, specifically with the suspension, it is technically firmer, but it doesn't really feel like that. I feel like the damping is just so good. It is slightly lower than the regular comp as well.
You can't say so good, bro.
I can say so good. I can say whatever I want. I can even say Nürburgring because this was tuned on the Nürburgring, and Sport is the Nürburgring setting for the suspension. And we also have the Nürburgring on the crest, on the headrest. Come on.
You've been on the Nürburgring?
2 laps, 1 time. Haven't said that in a while. Also, drop a like, because apparently that's an algorithm thing now, so just do us a favor and just like.
Yeah, and subscribe to our channel because we just hired our editor. Yesterday was his first day, and we need to have a ton of videos so he can keep working for the next 30 years with us.
So onto this transmission, we do have totally different paddles, which are similar to the ones that are now in the M4.
Like exactly that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool that BMW brings stuff to older models from newer stuff, even though it's still built off an older frame and everything.
Right, it's really cool. So let's use these paddles to downshift. I'm just gonna hold it. It doesn't hold it into the right gear, so you have to actually click it, which is interesting. But it shifts really quick. This is a ZF Auto. It is specifically tuned to this car, and it really feels like that. It's not a dual clutch, but I like it.
We got those cool shift lights up there, and then we can see all our shift lights in our gauge cluster and head-up display if we click our M mode button.
And then we can also change our shift timing with our buttons on top of the shifter.
And then remember years ago we were complaining how the tack goes the other way and we hated it?
Yeah.
Don't even care anymore.
I definitely still hate it.
Oh, I mean, I've gotten so used to it.
I don't even look at it. I actually only look at the shift lights.
Yeah, well, that too, but this doesn't bother me because of the shift lights.
Okay, so back to performance stuff. You can actually disconnect the front wheels and put this into essentially drift mode. So you have options of 4-wheel drive Sport, and 2-wheel drive, which is awesome that they kept that for this.
Okay, and then in the E63s wagon, we went to the drift mode. I didn't like sliding in that at all for doing donuts. This feels a lot better for that kind of stuff. BMWs in general and their all-wheel drive systems.
This is goonery mode for sure. So I'm not going to goonery mode into Cliche Corner, but let's just do another little send.
Because you're in 4-wheel drive Sport, not 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive.
That's right. And man, the steering on this is so much better because I hated the steering on the M5, and they fixed it on the comp, and this is just like infinitely better. The back end wants to come out. It's a rear-biased all-wheel drive system. We do have that M active differential in the back. I love how this drives.
Doesn't it feel snappier like the GT3 where it's almost too easy to turn?
Yeah,
but nothing wrong with it in any way.
In a very good way.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And the steering wheel doesn't feel too big or anything. It just feels perfect BMW size.
And it's Alcantara, not too thick, like you said. This is a great car. But the only thing with the steering wheel, Yuri, you pointed this out to me because you were driving on the highway, and what happened?
The sun was reflecting off the satin chrome into my eye. It was the funniest thing ever. I don't think I'd really mind. I'd just be like, okay, whatever. But if it was the same route every day, it would probably get annoying.
You just be like, yes, that's how rich I am. Now
I'm one of 25 people in Canada who can deal with this problem.
The privilege of having that problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you just forget about it, press your M1 and M2 buttons, use your carbon fiber paddles, and laugh at everybody as you dust them. Yeah. And the next thing that's big and changed are these seats. They are carbon fiber buckets. They look like the ones that are in the M4. They do have the crotch in carbon fiber as well. I genuinely hate these seats for daily driving. Like, they're well bolstered, but they're too well bolstered.
I love them. It's not hard. It's not as hard for me to get in, maybe because I'm slightly smaller. And then we've got very similar seats in the back because it's only a 4-seater, which is super cool.
Yes, I think that's the first time the M5 has ever done that.
And I don't think an E63S has done that, but the Porsches definitely do that all the time.
Yes, that's right, the Panamera. And I love having the Nürburgring track layout in all 4 seats. Like, this would be the perfect Nürburgring taxi.
And it's cool that it says CS in the middle and the back too.
Yeah.
And I love how like open it is, and these are the cool seats with the gaps. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same seats from every other M car.
Yeah, they're not cooled either. They're only heated. But let's get you behind the wheel of this bad boy.
Bad boy. Power adjustable seats with memory. What a surprise.
Not very lightweight of them. Launch control. Oh my God. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Wow.
This is so much faster than I think it would be.
It's faster than any E63s that exists right now.
This versus an E63s wagon drag race would be awesome. And what's cool is that you could do a two-wheel drive drag race too, just like we did against our Hellcat in that Hellcat versus E63s short.
Yeah, watch our shorts. That's not talking about our pants either.
So now back to the looks before I was so rudely interrupted by the first half of this video.
Sorry, the performance is kind of important.
We've got that copperish gold M5 badge on the side, which is very cool, M5 CS.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
And this color, it is a very cool matte green. You can also get it in gray and a matte gray.
Frozen deep metallic.
Everyone should get the green only.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Unless they did a burgundy too. I would be down with burgundy against this like gold copperish stuff too.
Nah, this is really cool.
Burgundy, dude, a dark burgundy.
Nah, this is so much better.
And this paint, man, I'm sick of burgundy cars. Then moving on to the back, we've got cool double dual exhaust, and then we've got a lot of carbon fiber trim down at the back at the splitter.
Yeah, it looks really nice back there. It is real exhaust, like you said. There's no fakery going on here, so thank you, BMW.
And then if we open our trunk, it's not power because it's weight savings.
Apparently.
And then how about these wheels?
Oh, speaking of weight savings, they are forged wheels, and we also have carbon ceramic brakes for the first time available with red calipers, but $0 option. These gold ones, I think you should just stick with the gold.
These brakes are insane because all our stuff that we put in the trunk, the second you hit the brakes,
yeah, and the wheels look so good. This is such a great design. Like BMWs on their CS models have unreal wheels.
These give me a little bit of Porsche GT3 kind of vibes, but what would be the Continental recommended tire for an M5 CS?
The Extreme Contact Sport.
So overall looks-wise, would you like the look of this more than an E63s sedan, an RS7, or a Porsche Panamera Turbo?
I think this definitely looks the coolest.
In this spec, I think this is the coolest. But you give me a Porsche with that cool Transformer spoiler, I don't know. I might be convinced to switch over.
Yeah, but this is like this is amazing.
But it sucks that there's no wagon in this, but there's a wagon in every other version.
Right, exactly. And they used to have a wagon in Europe of this as well.
Now it's just Speed Academy has one.
Yeah, because they had to build one themselves because they don't make that here.
Shout out Speed Academy.
Pete and Dave.
So now moving on to the interior, there's a bunch of features that I'm missing in this BMW that I wish I had that I assume were only missing because of weight saving. Starting with heated and cooled cup holders.
Yeah, like come on. This is a race car, but I need a cold drink on a cold day.
360 cameras? No, only the reverse camera.
No cooled seats, only heated.
What the heck? And then our backup assist, we don't even have that.
Oh my God, they deleted a computer.
Our drive recorder, we don't have that. That's one of like the most awesome features because it'll automatically record when a car gets in an accident and you can like set it up to a hotkey.
Do we have adaptive cruise, Yuri?
No.
Deleted.
Normal cruise. And you can't option it.
No weight, like extreme weight savings.
Look, remove these door handles, put a pulley strap, and give me the other stuff. It'll even out the weight, please.
Hang on. Let me just take my phone out. Oh wait, this is deleted.
And your phone doesn't fit in the wireless charger. It's too big.
Crazy.
Okay, yo, little boot into cliche before we get to the rest.
Use all of these lightweight savings into cliche.
I don't feel like I remember the old M5s being this good through corners.
No, this is like next level. So much grip.
This CS stuff is insane.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a fully normal, efficient, comfort four-wheel drive. Get a nice high gear, just gonna floor it.
That is so fast.
You literally sacrifice nothing by driving in the most comfortable mode because the second you need to go fast, it's like, yeah, I'm ready.
But there's also less sound because then the exhaust is off and then you don't have sport exhaust for the engine as well.
But the speed is there.
Oh, the speed's
and you
obviously
can
there.
Program it however you want.
Yeah.
It's good. And I love the paddles here. I love shifting this. This is super awesome. Imagine this in a manual. That's the only thing. It's like the M2 CS was manual, and that was just so cool.
The M2 CS is still definitely better than
And
this.
especially if it's such a low production car, there's no risk of not selling them all. They'll all sell. But I guess they don't have a manual built for this kind of car.
No, nothing that would probably be able to take the torque of it.
And then some regular BMW interior things. We do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Apple CarPlay is wireless. The infotainment is awesome. I love that it's a touchscreen and the rotary wheel. I know you hate rotary wheel non-touchscreen infotainments.
Yeah, so this has both. That's why I love the system. This is one of my favorite in the industry now.
Doesn't have tune mix, which I don't really like, but it's got all the other stuff. You can program all kinds of things to your hotkeys, which is awesome too. And then we've got our climate down below with a ton of hard buttons, so that's very nice.
But we do unfortunately still have some gloss black. They had to do that for fanciness, but then we do have matte carbon, which is really cool. We got the CS logo up here. This is a great interior.
And then a life hack for all you BMW drivers who want to have your daytime running lights on at night. You have to be in park, turn that on, and then put it to drive. You can't put it to that while you're rolling.
There you go.
Because I think more cars should be rolling around with just their daytime running lights on. But I think this should be full headlights on at all times so you can get as much yellow as you can.
So back to some traditional tests. The cup holders passed totally fine. Unfortunately, not heated and cooled like we said. And the visors.
But it is nice to have the cup holders in front of the shifter. I had some cars with it behind, and I don't like having to do that weird grip.
Okay, visor time.
3, 2, 1.
Fail!
Eh.
Wow. Wow!
Is that a super sedan pass?
This is a garbage car now, Yuri.
Well, they need a visor for the steering wheel to shine it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we also have ambient lighting in here, just like every other BMW, but since the outside is green, I feel like you should keep this one at green as well.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So I think that's pretty much everything out of the way with the M5 CS. Let's get to the price.
As I said, this one starts at $165,900.
Canadian.
And this one's very lightly optioned with every option box checked, $170,800.
I think that's perfectly reasonable for a low production car that looks this cool and is the fastest, most powerful BMW at the time.
It's definitely really cool. However, there are a lot of compromises for a daily driven sedan if that's what you would do with this. So I would actually recommend someone buy the M5 or the M5 Comp.
I don't think people are going to daily this if they buy it. I think this is going to be like their special M5 while they have their other M5.
And if you're shopping for a new BMW M5 and you live in the United States, click the TrueCar link below.
And if you live in Canada, there's a Car Help Canada link below.